put it in the scene. And so I need you to say, man, where's my money?
Man, where's my money?
If you've been keeping up with the news, you'd know that the Will Smith and Chris Rock slap debacle was one that had the entire world stunned. Literal minutes after the smack, the news of the occurrence spread like wildfire across social media, and best believe a lot of people had something to say about it. While initially people were too shocked to even question the incident's legitimacy, it only took a few days until this controversial question came into play. Was the slap real or fake? Although the vast majority doesn't agree that there was any foul play involved, there are a handful of celebrities, body language experts, and professional stuntmen who think otherwise. Even the popular TV show Rick and Morty hinted at the fact that it all might have been fake. Want to find out the real truth? Well, we've got it all. But before we get into it, please give the video a like and hit that subscribe button to never miss out on another video. It really helps me grow the channel so I can bring you the hottest tea every week. First and foremost, let's get into the craziest and most widespread conspiracy theories. Wait until you hear them. You might actually end up believing some of them. It couldn't have been a simple smack. Will Smith's victory against Chris Rock at the 94th Academy Awards on Sunday night swiftly stopped being a viral event and started serving as a gauge for our society's general cultural weariness. By Monday noon, every conceivable perspective, response, analysis, hashtag, and hot take had been fed through the social spin cycle. They had been eaten up, spat out, and warned to check their privilege. Was there anything to add? As it turns out, plenty, especially if you lean towards the conspiracist camp, because the internet was just getting started when the world was grudgingly peeling itself away from Twitter timelines. The regular forums started to buzz, discussions unspooled, and the full significance of that blow seemed tantalizingly close to being revealed as soon as the slap truthers came out in force. It turned out that the truth was in plain sight, literally right in your face. Here are a few theories from a depressingly large list. It was a stage slap. The Oscars have been going downhill rapidly. Only 10.4 million people watched last year's event, the fewest ever. The epidemic, along with a slew of uninspired art house winners and uninteresting presenters, had left the film industry's highest wattage bash barely a gleaming after a point when watching. With 8K quality images showing what seemed to be prosthetics, it has even been suggested that Rock was wearing a cheek pad to soften the impact. After all, it was difficult to notice the moment of connection due to the original camera angle used to capture the scene. And it was evident that many spectators believed it to be fake until Will Smith started shouting obscenities at Rock. A pad may be seen on Chris Rock's cheek in 8K resolution photographs. Obviously, conspiracy theorists will go crazy over this one image. But this concept is not believable for two reasons. Prior to the event, the Academy decided that a fan-voted category would ultimately be introduced in 2022, just 16 years after Twitter was created. Second, Chris Rock's face tells it all. He looks hurt, surprised, and absolutely gobsmacked as he stumbles over his remarks. Trump is to blame for the slap. You could assume that the incident was only a casual interaction between two willing individuals and maybe one wife, but you'd be mistaken. One guy alone, according to a liberally minded portion of the internet, could be accountable for the slap that reverberated across Hollywood: Donald Trump. Hollywood's casual response to the smack might also be linked to Trump. There was a tweet that said, "So did anyone walk out after that happened, or are we getting an independent psychological case study on how Trump got normalized?" Some Twitter wags claimed that Trump authorized Smith to strike Rock 10 years ago after praising Smith for striking a Ukrainian reporter who attempted to kiss him at the Men in Black 2 premiere. Smith was seen yelling at the reporter who attempted to kiss him on the lips during the Moscow showcase. Plus, there were some Rick and Morty digs too. The show has been known to do this over the past couple of years, so it didn't come as a surprise to us when they made a dig at the infamous Oscar slap. In their most recent season, Rick and Morty made massive use of the idea that it might all be fake. Dinosaurs have peacefully seized control of the world in season 6, episode 6 of the show, Jurassic Mort. Rick convinced the president to allow him to host the Oscars in return for ending the rule of the Jurassic. The odd genius imitates a a regular Oscar MC while wearing a sharp suit. The scene encompassed all the pranks, from slapping the mic stand with a trophy to having an animated Tom Hanks exclaim, "Wilson!" The jab at the Will Smith scandal, however, came from behind the scenes. Morty praises Rick for the microphone bit, but Summer is shocked to learn
That was all scripted?
it all came down to the scene where Rick said,
Every moment at the Oscars is, even that one thing.
so even these guys thought it was a fake slap and not a real one. But wait, if you thought this was crazy, wait till you hear what we have next for you. Next, we take a look at what the body language experts have to say. A body language expert said once Chris Rock made the joke about Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, you could see a palpable emotional change among the pair. He claimed, speaking on behalf of Slingo. The joke that made fun of Jada's shaved head as a result of her alopecia certainly made her feel uneasy. She displayed symptoms of embarrassment and contempt on her face as a result of being humiliated in front of her colleagues and the public. Will, though, uttered a looser than usual chuckle and leaned back in his chair, which is an indication of stress or unease. You could tell Chris Rock wasn't prepared for what was going to happen by his posture as Will rose to the stage. He also demonstrated a position of authority by holding his hands behind his back, much as many police officers, politicians, and other powerful individuals do in certain circumstances. Stanton, a renowned specialist in body language, said Chris was also exposing most of his body and important organs, an indication that there didn't appear to be any immediate risk. Therefore, he must have assumed it was going to be a joke, so he wasn't anticipating what was about to happen. The moment Will Smith sat down, we first saw that he performed a chin thrust, a typical display of dominance and authority, similar to what animals do to protect their young. Additionally, we may see flaring nostrils and extended eye contact, which are indications of true rage. He also makes a brief micro-expression of dislike, this time by pulling his nose as if he could smell something unpleasant. Now that body language experts have weighed in on the topic, there are many who are saying that it was fake. And to back up their claim, they say that it all came down to Will's skills as an actor. Many people who claim that it was all fake said that we all know Will Smith is a pretty great actor. And so, of course, great actors shouldn't have that much trouble when it comes to faking a simple slap. He's laughed on cue, he's raged on the cue of a director, and the man has even cried on cue. So how much harder would it have been to fake a slap on cue? What do you think? Whether it is fake or not, the man is still facing a lot of consequences. He could have faked it, maybe he did it on impulse, and it was all real, but the results didn't really end up in his favor. In the most recent episode of Red Table Talk, Smith discussed how Foster blanked him on the first day of filming, a method that Smith much admired.
Ben just walked past me and didn't say nothing. I'm like, oh, he must not have seen me. And then for 6 months, he didn't speak to me. He didn't make eye contact with me. He didn't say a word. He didn't acknowledge me for 6 months.
Smith continued by describing how Foster first shook hands with Smith and Fuqua on the final day of the shoot when Foster walked over to the monitor to see a picture with them. Additionally, he was barred from the Oscars. Expulsion, private or public censure, and the loss of any Academy Awards received by the culprit are all potential consequences for such behavior. A person who is expelled from the Academy loses their ability to vote for the Oscars as well as any other benefits that come with the membership, although they are still eligible to be nominated in the future. So, what do you think? With that, let's wrap it up. If you like this video, then click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be the first to see my next video. I post updates like this every week where I uncover the secrets of your favorite celebrities.